Hey, this is Doc Eric. Welcome to my YouTube neighborhood, the channel where we give you one mindset tip and one body set tip to take with you not only throughout today's video, but also throughout the rest of life as well. Today what we're going to be talking about is the anti-inflammatory diet and ways that you can help modify your current lifestyle so that you can become more anti-inflammatory so that you can feel better chronically as opposed to chronically feeling ill. So we're going to jump in, so here we go. When we're addressing inflammation, what we're talking about is the body's response to disease, to injury, as well as infection. Right? That's the clinical definition. But what about the real world example? So what are some of the real world examples of stress that currently impacts our lives that could cause an inflammatory response inside of our bodies? These could be things like lack of sleep. These could be things like inconsistent nutrition. These could be things like work stressors or home stressors, which are a lot right now due to what people are going through. And they could be also things such as overtraining when you're working out. These are all things that lead to inflammation inside the body, and we want to develop a system that we can take care of the inflammation in our body. And one of the ways to do that is through choosing food that is anti-inflammatory in nature. So one of the fastest ways to reduce inflammation in the body is to always make sure that you're getting some form of exercise, right? That's our body set tip for today. When you choose exercise, always try to do the minimum standard and always try to choose something that you know that you can keep up with. If, for example, you're not somebody who's a fan of walking, there's no point in making you walk because we know that that's not something that you do. If you prefer cycling, for example, go ahead and do more cycling, right? Pick something that you know that you can do. When it comes to our bodies as we age, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we choose exercise that is in alignment with resistance training. Resistance training is important because it allows us to maintain our lean muscle mass, and it also helps to keep our cardiovascular system strong and healthy, but it also allows our muscles and bones and ligaments to stay strong as well. So if you're someone who chronically does cardio, that's fine, but also make sure that you add at least 1 to 2 days of resistance training to balance everything out. You don't want to have an overdominance in one side versus the other. If you're somebody who's new to resistance training, there are many YouTube videos that you can find for your fitness level. If you're a beginner or somewhere in the middle or somewhere more advanced, there's many videos online that you can choose and follow along with to kind of allow yourself to go through workouts that don't feel like they're getting stale, because we all know it's very tough to stay motivated for ourselves, and the internet is a great resource to look at some of these videos. So now let's talk about some of the foods that you want to eat to promote an anti-inflammatory diet. Fruits, berries, and dark leafy green vegetables, those are the easy ones. Those are the, no pun intended, those are the low-hanging fruits. Everybody has a favorite fruit that they like to eat. Everybody has their favorite set of dark leafy green vegetables. So don't be afraid to look outside those current vegetables that you like and maybe add 1 or 2 that is similar in taste or texture so that you can expand your palate, but also to make sure that you're getting good vitamins and micronutrients as well. In terms of taking in healthy fats within the body, you can search for things like eggs. You can do flaxseed, a lot of lean proteins like your fishes and your chickens. Eating a little bit of red meat is also okay as well. And when it comes to carbohydrates, you always want to make sure that you're choosing some sort of high density carbohydrate that is minimally processed. So if you want to do something like a sweet potato or brown rice or some quinoa, those are excellent examples of easily digestible carbohydrates that are going to keep you full, but they also have a lot of vitamins and nutrients as well. We all know that we want to minimize the amount of processed sugar that we take into our bodies on a daily basis. So if you're somebody who has a little bit of a sweet tooth, that's something that you want to look into. And we did a video not too long ago about how to minimize your sugar addiction in a few days. So you can go ahead and check that out, and I'll put a link below in the show notes as well. And finally, you want to make sure that if you're eating food that's constantly packaged, just know that these foods contain a lot of additives to preserve freshness, and they typically don't use the most high quality ingredients in order to process these foods, which is also reflective in the price as well. So just know that if you're choosing a frozen meal or something that's prepackaged, you're saving in terms of finances, but in terms of the product that you're putting into your body, it's not the best quality product, and then that can actually lead potentially to some inflammatory responses, which you may not want, which is the purpose of what we're trying to work against. So just keep that in mind as well. So the mindset tip today, in addition to the body set that we mentioned before, is you want to take an overview of exactly what it is that you're doing currently in your routine, as well as your nutrition, and see if there's any room for improvement. So if you find that your nutrition is a little bit on the lax side, or you've been a little bit open with your nutrition and what you're putting into your body, this is the time to reflect and see where you can improve. The same thing with your fitness. If you find that your fitness is a little bit lacking, then this is an excellent opportunity to add a little bit of fitness. You can start with something simple like a walk, and then you can build into resistance training. And as I mentioned before, there's a lot of online resources that can help you out as well. So don't forget to check those out. And as always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. I always like getting new YouTube visitors to our channel. It helps me grow this channel, and it also allows me to generate new content for you guys. And until next time, stay healthy.